This was Keir Starmer's take on Kwarteng's sacking. So it's an interview in The Guardian, and he said, "Change in personnel at the top of the Tory party is not the change we need. We need a change of government. We are in the absurd situation where we are on the third, fourth Prime Minister in 6 years, and within weeks, we have got a Prime Minister who has the worst reputational ratings of any Prime Minister, well, in history. Their party is completely exhausted and clapped out. It has got no ideas, it can't face the future, and it has left the UK in a defensive crouch where we are not facing the challenges of the future because we haven't got a government that could lead us to the future. For the good of the country, we need a general election." Aaron, Keir Starmer calling for a general election. I don't know if you think that's a smart idea or not. I suppose the more interesting question is there any mechanism by which we would get one?
Any sensible Tory clearly is not going to vote for a general election right now, because I think, yes, Liz Truss can fall further. I do think there's a sort of cognitive bias. People say, oh, well, this is the lowest point. Why? Why is it the lowest point? If you're getting 20% in the opinion polls a month after coming to office, who knows? We've never seen this before. Maybe they can go to 10%. Right? I mean, this already seems outlandish to me. So I don't really subscribe to that thinking. However, I don't think the Tories would go into a general election with this kind of polling. Surely, they've got 2 years to not do that. Surely, they've got two options here. One is to stick with Truss, and basically she's sort of puppeteered by the 1922 committee and doesn't do anything. They probably would recover 5-10%. They might get 30% in a general election, but I don't see how. But they might do. Or they, and I think this is what they will do, they'll let things calm down for the next couple of weeks, maybe even a couple of months, and then replace her once the market is calmed. By the way, it might not be like I say, because they've not actually done a proper U-turn on the mini budget. So the only way we can have a general election is if Conservative MPs agree to a general election. They aren't going to do that. So I don't really see Keir Starmer's point. Unless, of course, King Charles, my apologies, King Charles the woke, unless he says he no longer has confidence in the Prime Minister, plausible, it'd be a constitutional crisis. But you could see a certain set of circumstances where that becomes the case. Maybe people from her own party come to him and say that, then maybe. I mean, there was a similar situation to that with Chamberlain, obviously, in 1940. Maybe you might get a sort of coalition government. I don't know. There's a lot of sort of contingencies and eventualities because we're in such strange times. But I don't see how Tory MPs would vote for a general election. They would be digging their own professional graves, so to speak, most of them. They'd be reduced to around 100 seats right now. So hard to envisage.
Yeah, it's very difficult to see it happening. Unless there's some sort of like kamikaze thing with sort of 40 Tory MPs who decide they completely want to destroy the Conservative Party for some reason. It does seem hard to imagine.